Okay. Thank you. So we have some people that have enrolled, enrolled in this webinar, but eventually could not make it. So they can watch the recording. So, and I'm Patricia, and I do the general coordination of the program and liaise with the schools and the company partners. So as we have already briefly introduced, our program consists of four main pillars. To inspire, two of them are mentoring pillars, to inspire and to motivate. To inspire, in the Inspire one, we work with small children from up to the 6th grade. And this pillar has the goal of helping the children to develop their self-knowledge and their self-esteem and be able to face the challenges they are facing at school. And the motivate, and now we will have two coordinations, because we still have the Portuguese coordination, and we have now the coordination in English, in the English language. And we want to motivate these young students that are already in the secondary, in the high school, and they face different challenges. And that's why we have two different pillars, because we have different methodologies and different goals. We have to develop pillar that we want to develop the digital literacy of our children at the basic school in public schools in Portugal. Eventually, in the future, we might also go to foreign countries and to expand. And this pillar is directly organized with the company, with the company partners, but we can also involve volunteers. It's a very one-off situation, and we'll discover a bit little more in a couple of minutes. So, as I was mentioning, if you'd like to inspire a child, you would join this pillar, and we would have to have a basic training to be a volunteer that will be provided by the Faculty of Psychology and Educational Sciences. And during your mentoring, during your volunteering activity, you will have a monthly meeting with the pillar coordination. Your mission is to be a mentor to a child, and every week spend 1 hour with this child. Usually this happens at schools or in the organizations they belong to. We also work with foster care, and that's why sometimes we have to go to these organizations. The motivate, we work with high school students, and one of our main goals is to give them a glimpse of what can their future be like, to show them what is to work in a big organization like ours. And so usually we suggest for you to have these mentoring sessions in your offices. It's also a one-to-one relationship. Sometimes we have mentors that are available to work with more than one student, because sometimes they have a better dynamic. Some students don't feel so comfortable in a one-to-one relationship, but you will also have to attend these training sessions that will be provided always online, and you have to each month have a meeting, a follow-up meeting with our coordinator. we also ask for you to dedicate 1 hour per week to this volunteering, to the mentoring sessions. And to desenvolver, to develop, you will work in a team, and we also it's only necessary 1 hour per week. We will be a part of a team of 3 volunteers, and you go to the schools to teach programming using the Scratch. I don't know if you know this program. It's a very visual, it's a module programming language. So what we really want to teach them is not to use a language, a programming language, but to know the logics of programming. So for every pillar, it's very important that you attend to the training, to the basic training. So you don't need to have the skills, to have previous skills to do your volunteering activity, because we will provide you all the necessary volunteering and the monetization you might need during your volunteering work. And so our what we'd like to challenge you today is to join us in this Motivate pillar that is coordinated by Neil. So we are going to have our pilot, we have our inaugural classroom dedicated to volunteers that don't speak Portuguese, and give you the opportunity to motivate a high school students. And to talk about this pillar in more detail, I will ask Neil to let you know what is going to be like.
Okay. So we're looking at high school students, and originally we're thinking maybe about what in Portugal we call secondary level. The secondary level in Portugal is 10th, 11th, and 12th. And these are pre-university students. So they're a little bit older, generally around about 16, 17, 18. But we could have younger students. We don't know yet in terms of the requests that we have from schools in terms of the young people that we would support. So we could get what we call third cycle students. And the third cycle is just before the secondary. So the third cycle is 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. And with the 7th, 8th, and 9th grade students, they will be about 13, 14, 15 years old. If at some point we do manage to get contacts and enter into schools in Britain, then I would expect those will be on the older level, on the older students level. But within Portugal, we can expect anything then from 13, 12, 13 up to 18, 17, 18. So the idea then is that we will help the kids to improve their performance. This doesn't mean necessarily that you help them with their homework or you explain the material that they've been learning in school. That's not exactly the idea of the program. Doesn't mean that sometimes you don't give them some help. Maybe that would be appropriate. Maybe it would be something that they would need that they can ask for. But it's also showing them that we believe in them, that we can build their self-confidence, that we can be an example, that we can, particularly if we have young people who are it's not their first country, maybe their parents moved here, and so they're living in two cultures. They're living in their home culture, which is very, very different to living in their in the Portuguese school system. And there are areas of the country where there's a lot of different nationality kids. And so we help them to navigate that. Maybe your experience will be similar to their experience in some ways. And so helping them to believe in themselves and motivating them to grow, motivating them to believe, motivating them to move ahead with school, stick at it, build resilience in their education. And so we'll be having a series of trainings of about 12 hours over a period of a couple of months. And then every month, again, sessions, a monthly session then where we get together and we talk about how things are going, what your needs are, what you're finding, and we can do that in group. And then you, as Patricia was saying as well, then your involvement would be then 1 hour per week on a one-to-one basis, probably one-to-one. It could be two, but generally on a one-to-one basis, where you would spend an hour a week with your mentee. And we give the training in terms of explaining things, how things work, what mentoring is, what mentoring isn't, what expectations you have, what do you do, where do you go if you need help, and all that. Patricia, is there anything else that I would need to say?
Yes, thank you, Neil. And because we have already given a very broad view of what is your mission, so this is in a first time that we are working with foreign volunteers and building this new pillar. One of our goals eventually is to give support to foreign students that can be more related to your experience as well. But one of the things that we are almost sure is that we'd like very much to, if you could share also your professional, your experience as a human being, how you achieved your goals, how you became a software developer. We like very much to motivate these young students that are usually very demotivated at school. They don't feel any interest sometimes in what they study. They don't see a bright future. And we'd like to know if you feel as well motivated to motivate, and how would you see your involvement in Companhia do Estudo. So I'd like to hear a little bit also about you and to know how would you like, if you would like to help and join Companhia do Estudo. Farouk, we already have had this interview, so that's why I'm starting with you. And when you enrolled in our program, I know you have chosen another pillar. I believe you had chosen to develop, desenvolver. So you really wanted this part of the programming skills. Nevertheless, because to develop is with very young children in Portugal, it would be very difficult for you to be involved, but you still can use your skills, your programming skills, and motivate a high school student. Is that something you feel comfortable with?
Yeah, of course, Patricia. Actually, I joined this Companhia do Estudo because of the vision, actually. Because if we are willing to help the others, I can easily say that the world becomes a better place instead of not giving help to other one or give a hand to other ones.
Yes, that's right. And to how we usually say, to build a better and safer world, we have to do it. We have to get proactively involved and do things. It's very easy for us just to complain that things are not right. But what's challenge you, we challenge everyone, we challenge our community, is to really do something. And we'll give you all the support. Like Neil was saying, we'll give you all the training. We will accompany you during the whole academic year, and we will meet regularly and give you all the support you need so that you don't feel alone in this mission. Sabina, thank you, Farouk.
Thank you.
How do you see you getting involved in this program, Sabina?
Well, yes. Well, since I was a kid, actually, I wanted to work with, any organization for the kids. But after, when I was older, I was volunteering in my hometown, not only for the programming, but also for the drawing and these artistic activities in the galleries. So I really enjoyed all the time with kids and fun. They're really fun.
Yeah. Would you feel comfortable working with adolescents?
Yes.
Yes. You are product owner, I believe. No, product
Yes,
vision.
yes. Yeah, product visionary, but my previous, of course, is programming, anything related to data science. Yeah.
Yeah, and I believe that your background will help our students to see how they can also become one day something like you, because we have very, very demotivated students, and sometimes they think that this is not for them. They won't be never successful because they come from very difficult contexts sometimes. Thank you, Sabina.
And for
By the way, Sabina, you work at Critical TechWorks in which town?
in Porto.
In Porto. Okay.
Yes.
Thank Farouk, you're from Porto as well. Yes, so am I. So am I. So was Neil. Now he's in Wales. I don't know why.
Not because I like rain.
No, no.
Mm.
Regina, thank you, Sabina. Regina, I have already met and talked a little bit with Regina. Thank you for being here. So, because we are in such a small group, we have the opportunity to know each other a little bit more. And so, and you already, your journey with us was very similar to Farouk. You enrolled in to develop pillar, and then I invited you to motivate a young student. How do you feel about joining this mission, Regina?
I don't mind. So actually, I can do both. And for me, it's like the main intention is just to not to help, but pass my experience to someone, because I think it's kind of interesting and can be useful. And yes, I feel comfortable
Yes.
with it.
Yeah, it's the same situation as Farouk, because you would like very much to pass your experience as software developers, but our develop pillar is oriented for very small children in Portugal, so it would not be very easy for you to
Yes,
to
yes, I understand.
to
Yes.
participate, but you can work with students either in Portugal or abroad that are already enrolled in a professional training in programming, and sometimes they need these role models. New.
That's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for in Britain, particularly. As I reach out and try to find schools that I would love for people who are doing professional courses or in their schools focusing on or love computers and programming and development, to have somebody. And I was getting excited before we were talking. Patricia and I were talking earlier today, excited about just thinking about what it's like for a young person who's starting off and learning about computer programming and developing, to have somebody who's further ahead, that's working, that's doing the job, that can say it's possible. You know, this is a way, and that excites me particularly about if we can do that in the UK. But I think mentoring generally, it's also a general thing. It's not just. I think a lot of people get confused, and we've had people ask this question in the training: what is mentoring? Because some people think that it's about helping kids with their homework, And so I would have people asking me questions like, well, the kid doesn't want to do the homework in the session that we have. And well, that's okay. Don't do the homework. I mean, that's not what it's about. It's about helping the kids to believe in themselves. One of the things that I believe is that kids in school need to be seen. I don't know if anybody ever saw the second film, Avatar. There's a scene in the film Avatar. One of their greeting is "I see you." And in South Africa, the greeting with the Zulu tribe is "I see you." Sawubona, I see you. And in the film, there's a part where the kid, he's always having this problem with his father. And there's a point in the film where the father looks at the son and says, "I see you." Many of these kids don't have anybody who sees them. And the idea is that we see them. And they get more from being seen than they would from help with homework. So it englobes everything. It's not just my experience as a developer or my experience in my profession. That counts. That's important. That's who you are. But it's who you are that sees them as who they are. They might not even pass the school year, but they will have a positive year if they have somebody who sees them, somebody who's accompanying them along the way. And that's a lot to the vision.
Yes.
Patricia, can you stop sharing for a little while? Just
okay.
And put it back when you need it.
Have I stopped?
No.
No.
Maravilha. Okay. Now we can see each other better. Regina, I had something to show you.
Show. Okay.
If you don't know, if anybody else don't know what that is, that's the best singer in the world.
It was so quick.
You didn't see?
It was Dimash Kudaibergen, as I understand.
He's from Kazakhstan. He's the
Yes,
best singer in the world. So if you never heard Dimash Kudaibergen, then you need to find out.
You need to try, yes. He sings very well.
I'll send you the link, Patricia.
I know Dimash.
Oh, you already? I already sent you the link. You already received it. Okay.
So I even thought you were saying you were doing an exercise about seeing each other when you were showing Regina, because that's one of the that is certainly the most important thing. Our children grow up in a very demanding world and very stressful, and families don't have time for the children. Teachers don't have time for them as well. They just have time to perform, to show them what they need to learn. And what we will do as mentors is give them their own personal time to be themselves, to be seen. And that's our proposal. And if you can also add your technical skills to help them to motivate and grow, brilliant. But the most important thing is to focus on that person with all their qualities and all their, how you say, defeitos, Neil? Defects, because we all have, and they just want to be seen and accepted as they are, and to have you as a critical friend, so to say, someone that is there, that will support, that will guide. But Neil, as our coordinator, will teach us all about this, about being a mentor. So I don't know. I know that Regina and Farouk have already enrolled in our program. But we would be very, very happy to count with you all three in this venture. It will be quite an adventure, and to learn how we are going to motivate these students. They can be from Portugal. We are still also thinking about working with students in UK, but if we cannot go to UK, we have many students in Portugal that need your help.
Probably more students than we have mentors at the moment. Yeah.
Perhaps. I believe all students need. I'd just like to, now I have to reshare, may
You
I?
can share again, yeah.
Yes, I will share because I just want to let you all know that how can you take part in Companhia de Estudo? Farouk and Regina have already done this. So Sabina, in case if you want to join us, you have to fill in our application form until the 30th of September. And then we will have a quick interview to know a little bit more about you. And our program will kick off on the 20th October. We will have a welcome session that will be a hybrid session. We'll transmit live from Porto office. And then it's expected that you start your volunteering work by November, end of October, beginning of November. So that will be the moment when you will meet your mentee. And because you will work at Critical Tech Works, you have the possibility to invite them to have these mentoring sessions in the office. So what we want is to show them what it's like to work in a big company like CTW, and because they are already grown-ups, they have this possibility to travel, to commute to the office. So you don't have to spend much time in logistics, in traveling. So like we're saying, you have to apply, then send
You
your
want to share the
CV.
slides?
I'm not sharing.
No.
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 No. So I have never shared the slides.
Yep.
The second time, no.
No. Oh, so I
Oh,
was
okay.
showing something that you are not seeing. Okay. So you have, like it was already said, to fill in the application form, send your CV and the criminal record. This is mandatory by law. Yes. And schedule an interview. I will send you a link for you to schedule an interview with me, and then you will be welcome to our team. So what is our commitment with you? Is that we will give you all the support you will need, all the training, all the monetization you need, all the support, and we will do all the rest so that you can only focus on your mentoring sessions. We will liaise directly with organizations, with your companies, and we will give you all the contents. You will have access to our Companhia de Estudo portal, where you can see the recordings of all our training sessions. The training sessions will always be recorded so that you can watch as many times as you like. And we also share with you the impact assessment of this program, because we want to make this a very mature program that every year we look at what has been the results of our actions and intervention, and to always take some lessons learned and improve next time. And from you, what we ask from you to carry out with zeal and diligence the commitments you are going to assume. So you have just to give this 1 hour per week. And in case you cannot keep your volunteering, please let us know as soon as possible. It's very important that our mentees don't feel abandoned. So please, in any case that you might not show up, please let your mentee know, because now you are talking about adolescents, you will eventually have their personal contacts. Let them know, let us know, because it's very important for us to coordinate and to assure that that we don't abandon our volunteering work. And because it's very important as well that you are fully trained, we ask you to participate in as many as possible training sessions in a synchronous way. But you can always watch in case there is one training session you might not go, no problem. You will have access to the recording and then you can watch after. And as I usually say, what we'd like for you to be as a mentor is to be a sort of a champion that everyone should deserve, someone that does not give up on our children. Sometimes these students have already a very difficult past, like some are refugees, some are not, some have in a way have left too much behind, and we want to make sure that they know that we are the ones that will not give up on them. And Neil, for me, that's it. I don't know if you want to add something.
I watched this talk by Rita Pearson a number of times, so I just put the link in the chat so that you guys can watch it whenever you want. I would suggest that you do, because it's very inspirational. And it's the whole idea of I see you. Kids need people who see them. Other than that, I want to ask, do you have any questions? Do you have any doubts? Do you have any questions? Comments?
For now, no.
I have one actually. I didn't understand the dates actually. The dates for the plan is decided already. I didn't see any plan or calendar.
The calendar was here. I was trying to show you.
Okay.
I'm going to reshare. Sorry. Let me see. Can you see?
Nope.
No, I don't know.
Nothing.
Nothing. I try. That's the one.
Perfect.
Yes.
Yes. So we still have our Opencall running until the 30th of September. So we're still receiving new registrations for this program, and we'll be conducting the interviews. And on the 20th October, we will officially launch our training programs. Meanwhile, during the first weeks of October, you will receive all the information related to your training sessions, the chronogram of the sessions, and also the access to our portal, where you have access to all contents, academic contents, the recordings of the sessions. And while you are doing your training, we will be contacting schools to identify the students that you are going to be mentors to. And we hopefully you will start your volunteering work until the beginning of November. That's what is expected days. And then your volunteering work will go on until the end of the academic year in Portugal, or in UK, in case we are able to go to UK, until June. So, and whenever you have holidays, you also have holidays. We have holidays on Christmas. We have holidays on Easter. So whenever there is an academic pause, you also have your pause. sometimes some mentors keep a very informal contact with their mentees, but it's not necessary. Regina, I don't know if you had were going to ask anything.
No, I wasn't. I just don't know how to get my criminal records from Portugal, but in general, I understood everything.
Okay, I know in Portugal, we have our registration in Portugal, and I don't know if the foreign people can also ask their criminal.
Yes, we should have the same thing, but I will find a way. Don't worry.
Okay, in case you have any trouble, please let us know. I will send you a link for at least for Portuguese citizens. It works. I don't know, but it is really important when we work with underage students. It's mandatory by law.
Yes, I understand. Yes.
It is available for foreigners.
It is. So I'll send the link.
Okay, thanks.
So
all it shows is you've never been caught.
So if you don't have any further questions, so we would just, I don't know, Neil, if you still want to say something.
No, I'm good. Just
You're good.
Pleased to meet you. Nice to have a nice range of people from different places. Some places I've been, some places I'd like to be. So it was a pleasure.
Yes, and we are very, very excited with starting this new team and this new group of volunteers. We would like very much to have you on board, and if not earlier, we'd like very much to see you on the 20th October. Meanwhile, you receive more news from us and all the information you need to have your onboarding in our team. So in case you have any questions after this session, please contact us directly. You have our emails. You can find them in the invitation I have sent. So please get in touch if that's the case, and see you soon. Thank you very much for your participation.
Thank you all for organizing this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Recording.